Mr. Mr. T. Rao is the founder and director of Hope Ventures Private Limited company based in New Delhi. His company manufactures organic and environmental friendly products. Recently, they have launched an organic liquid detergent under brand name Puro Wash. And besides doing business, is also managed United Gospel Mission, a non-profit organization committed to reach downtrodden and disadvantaged people. He is a licensed master trainer in business and grant writing for non-profit organizations. He regularly writes articles on fundraising and entrepreneurship. We are really happy to have you with us, sir. On behalf of Odisha Follow-up Organization, you have accepted our invitation. We are really so glad to have you, to listen from you, to listen your intellectual insights with regard to business. And I'm also thankful to all the participants, those who have joined to learn. I really respect their sense of curiosity, sense of inquisitiveness to learn. So over to Rao, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Amod. Thank you so much for a kind of a lengthy introduction. And well, that is a grace of you. And well, that is again, I would say like right, that's again a right of information, right? RTI for participants to know about me. Well, I will be going through one of my slide inside where I'll be speaking a little elaborate way myself so that we all come familiar with the content or the topic or the subject that we are talking this evening and why I'm fitting into that and how I'm going to deliver that so that you connect my work or my personality with the content and the deliverability. So that makes a connection between us. So the irrelevancy is removed and we know that yes, it's relevant. We are on the right page. We are on the right, track, both of us. I mean, as a hearing part, and I'm speaking here. So let's all be in the same part, same page. That's very important for us. Well, 1 month back, we were in discussion, and I would say, like Mr. Amod, we were talking about the COVID crisis and the business thing, and how the ministry, non-profit, and for-profit circles, how it's going, from roller coaster kind of experience, up and down, up and down. In this turmoil, we understand still people have dreams, people have visions,
Yes.
people have their passions. Yeah, they are not just given up, right, because of COVID. So it's inside. So they are looking forward to turn their ideas or turn their passion, turn their gifting and the talent into something which they can really fetch some money, which we call it as a business. So today we're speaking on this particular topic, ideas turning into businesses. Now, if you're all ready, we know this is with our mindset and with your time. Some of you have been here 10 minutes, 20 minutes. That's what Mr. Amos told. Thankful for your advance, awakening and being here. That shows your curiosity. So I'm just showing the slide here. Let's start. But you are already started, right? So you have been already in the starting mode. So this is not applicable for you. It's only for the people those are just jumped in, right? Okay, so little about me. I'm just adding few things. It's already been spoken. So blogging and writing and training, this is again my passion for so much time, like around more than a decade now. On the left side, you see myself, my family here. That's again the cause and reason which I strive doing many things, different things. Keep trying, keep testing, because I have a vagabond behind me, pushing me forward. So I have my wife, Jyotika, and my elder daughter, Zafi. That's how we call her. And middle one, Yeru, and the youngest, Azania, Azu. She is just now in grade 1. And all of them, as we are doing this Zoom classes, they all now perfected Google Classroom, right? They also perfected some part of Zoom. So they're sitting on the other room, equally like you, sitting and watching at this presentation on this webinar as well. So what I'm trying to do here is like blending a lifestyle, a profit and non-profit. So both are like North Pole, South Pole, but graciously, it's again, I would say, God-given gift or an ability or talent that I could balance these. The simple reason because I believe the entrepreneurship eliminates poverty and it gives opportunities, for employment, and also it provides a dignity for the workers. So that is the reason I was striving different circles, whether it is online and offline. So I want to, try various things in both the sectors, how it works, whether it is in Amazon or Shopify or e-com, or you talk about the brick and mortar type of business, whatever it is. Oh, these are some of my background. You see the grant writings in the Regal Shape or Reading Style Hope Ventures, Pure Wash, United Gospel Mission, or Leadership Institute of Entrepreneurs. There are few of those that in my efforts that I have been able to start and run and manage somehow. So these are all now I'm little by little pulling on different circles in different sectors. I believe these brands or these ventures that I have started few years now, and some I have started little, and one I have started even in COVID 2020 as well. So I keep on starting every year something and add up the title. So I just keep on doing that. So only the time will tell how many will be becoming big or maybe multinationals. Or I have no idea about all those, but I'm doing what I can right now. So these are few ventures that I'm currently managing and running. So today, turning our passion into a business, I'm going to share a system. I'm going to share a system where most of the businesses doesn't know. I would say like less than 10% of the business, even the business, they know this. Let me put my here right. Okay. Before spending more time and money, I would say to gain this business intelligence or gain this understanding in a systematic step-by-step approach, how you start, grow, and shift your business, or you turn your passion into a business so that you will avoid business loss and increase profit, save time and money 10 times more. That's what I'm trying to do. Present, and very soon in a few slides you will come to know how dramatically this gets unfolded, and you will come to know that it's I can launch my idea into a business and having different idea about entrepreneurship. They will think, this is not even worth of teaching. Can we teach somebody about this? They will not even. So very less, and there was confusion between different so creating right. So what sorry, I lost the connection. Could you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right, I'm back. Right. Now the entrepreneur thing is something new, normal. Here, what's happening with the entrepreneurship? In the past, there was no care, no academics, nothing as such. But now the fragmented approach, as the demand for entrepreneurship grown up, what is happening? We are in a big crisis. The crisis in the education or in training on entrepreneurship, in raising entrepreneurs, what we are seeing is most often the YouTube, social media, books, conferences, or friends and relatives and niche gurus. Most of the entrepreneurs are looking towards these, venues where they can get some information and they're trying to build their entrepreneurship or a business on the stories which is being shared, success stories kind of. Nothing wrong in stories. Stories should be told, and I believe stories should be in their own position. But here we see stories can't build the skills. Okay, the storytelling is good, but it cannot build the skill. So what entrepreneurs need, we need, the skill, our ability. There is the importance of spirit. We need that. But what we think sometimes in a creative irrelevance, parades are somebody who, hijacks, ships and other kind of things. So they are very daring, adventurous. They want to create order. If you're creative, but you are not irrelevant, irrelevancely, you are creative, then doesn't make any sense. So your spirit doesn't make any sense. So what we are trying to say is spirit plus skill. So we need spirit plus skills for entrepreneurship. The successful entrepreneurship is we need the adventurous spirit of a pirate or a hijacker, we can say like. At the same time, we need a Navy skill, or we can say like a chief army person or a commando, we can say. The Navy skill is again an army term. That's a particular department, or we can say particular cadre that's raised in US with a very rigorous years of training. So they are above the commandos. So they are highly skilled in warfare. So we need both for a successful entrepreneurship. Now, when we talk about turning our ideas into business, or when we talk about entrepreneurship, I just want to pause here and ask you, what would be the single qualifying requirement to have a business? So now that we have an idea of our passion, or we have our idea back in our brain, we are thinking about certain things. So do you think now we can qualify ourselves to have a business? What's the single requirement to have a business? Let's come on to the chat and just put on your thoughts, whatever that comes into your mind. So what's the requirement for a business? I want you guys to use the chat box here. Okay, so chat box is open for all. So what's the requirement, one requirement for a business, whatever that comes in your mind? Please try to share and feel free to share. There could be many requirements, right? So there would be many things that we need for a business. I just want to know something that's popping up in your mind, something, one thing. Okay, then the line talks capital, that's again money or investment, right? Okay, that's fantastic. Let's see more. Okay, we need attitude, skills, product, okay, to do the business. Passion and strategy, Amod said, right? Okay, market for the product. Okay, that's good. Again, Lyndon Naik has come up with another term. Okay, market for the product. Okay, let's see any other thing that's popping up in your mind. Demand for customer. Okay, demand again. Demand of customer. Okay, oh, somebody's coming close. Demand of customer. Okay, you're coming very close. Okay. Talking capacity. Okay, you need to speak. Okay, right. You need to do a lot of talking. Talking is there. Okay, that's like something. Okay, same thing. Gap and need. Okay, money, skills, and understanding of the market. Okay, knowing the need of the customer. Okay, again, somebody is close. OMG is very close. Okay, need to know the customer, right? Without surprising, let me slide to the next one. You will be knowing what is that basic thing thing or the number one requirement to have a business. You have all come up with very fantastic, terms, very good. Yes, we need all those, but top of that, there is something which dominates any of these things. You'll be surprised to know it looks very simple, but it's so profound and it's so powerful. Paying customer, right? It is so ridiculous. It is so ridiculous, right? So funny. It seems so. It's like going crazy. Oh, this is so simple. It's like kind of like somebody joking you, right? So saying and talking about the paying customer. Of course, talked about various things. We talked about demand of customer or maybe something no need of customer, something as such, but we have never come close to this, something like paying customer. See, that's very important. Once you have an idea or the passion, now you want to have a business or you start the paying customer. That means, is there somebody willing to pay for your idea? Is there somebody pay for your product? Is there somebody willing to pay for your service? Willing to pay. The money is the bottom line. So now for a moment, let's forget about the money, right? Business, we think like money-minded people can be business. No, not at all. The word money or use, but let me put that money into different perspective. The customer is actually not paying you money, but he's exchanging. He's exchanging whatever you want to give, an idea, product, or service with what he can serve you. So basically, it's a barter system. So you try to give him something which he doesn't have. Money or he gives and barter system, right? In those days when coins were not there, when rupees were not printed, people were exchanging goods for goods, right? That's the early barter system. That is the payment system. And later on we see the salt. The British time and before Britishers, all the Mughals and all the kings, they were controlling the salt. And salt was a medium again of exchange when used to pay. And the Silk Road, we heat from China to India. So back into the history, we see the salt was having a significant value, so much of value in exchange. So today we have rupees paying customer. It doesn't matter in what ways, but you must have a paying customer. Why? Who is going if you Google if you don't have a paying a customer, you are not able to identify that. That means you are doing exactly the same thing. You're putting time, you have no customer, or the customer that pulls the cart you don't have. So what you are doing is you are actually putting customer somewhere in the backyard, and you're putting all the things in the front yard. So that means you are putting literally the cart before the horse. You're going to reach nowhere. But we are supposed to in this, the customer is going to give you the money that you need to sustain and to pay everything. So cart. Right. Are you with me now? Type in the chat box yes. So far, are you clear? If you are clear.
Participant, kindly use chat box. Voice is not clear.
If we are clear now for this moment, the number one qualifying thing to have a business is to have paying customer. Is it clear?
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Right. So this is what the first thing. Paying customer, right. Now that you understand that you get hold of a paying customer, now we are moving further now to understand who is your customer. So when we say paying customer, that doesn't give any sense, right? It's just a generic word. That's just a term, a general term, customer, that's it. So now we are going into that particular thing. Sorry for the spelling here error, but it's customer, CUSOTMER, customer. So we're trying to understand deep into this, how we get into the market, right? And how we profile a buyer, our buyer, and how we are going to have primary market research, and how we are going to find our next 10 customers. That's where we are trying to understand who is our customer. Now go to market. Why we are saying that go to market? Because again, customers you will not find elsewhere. You will find customers right in the market. So when you have an idea, when you are thinking about a product, or when you are thinking about a service, the first thing you need to do is not spending money on hiring or even staff, putting up staff and infrastructure and things like that. But you need to really understand the idea or the product or service that is solving somebody's problem. If it is 80%, I just told like 80% solution or 90% or 100%. And what about this product development or a service? How I'm going to develop this? You need to identify the potential markets through assessment process, and then narrow down to the market with the highest potentiality to purchase your solution. So that means you're not going around all different markets, but you're going to single out a particular segment or a particular sector. And then from there, you are going to identify where your product or a service, your idea can be sold, where you will find people that I need, they are willing to, purchase, or they are ready your market. You need to understand your market. So you need to go out and find this, the first thing. Now the second thing is, now you need to identify a buyer, okay? Who would be a buyer in that particular market? So when you entered into your market, say like you are concentrating a particular district or a block or a village, and you are saying, okay, this particular area I'm going to concentrate. Market is again not geographical, it could be again length and breadth of type of people that you are identifying, male, female, children, all the kind of things. Then you will understand the buyer has a particular profile. He may be, particular age, he may be on a particular gender, male or female, maybe there will be a particular education level, married, unmarried, and what type of work they do, what type of religion or faith they have, and things like that. So slowly you're going to profile, you're going to understand their activities, their opinions, their behaviors, their lifestyle. So you're trying to get hold of your customer more and more. So you're going to profile him, you're going to know him more and more. So this is something like kind of, you're making a small biodata of your buyer. And then how do you do this? You will find this in a process called primary market research. The primary market research, PMR, is for just two reasons. That is to choose the right market. Okay, you can't just have an idea or a product and go after wrong market, or going after so many places, but you need to choose on particular right market that works for you. And then look for buyers or users, who is going to use, who is going to buy, who is going to be benefited, so that you can buy your primary market research. So you are going to do this, going out to people and talking to them. So this is how you're going to start entering into your market and get the customers. Now, once you understand the user or the buyer, then you are going to find the first 10 people, okay? I call this as next 10 customers. So the users or these buyers are nobody else, but they are your first 10 customers. That's the important thing you need to get hold. So you need to get real users, real people, not just imaginary people or guessing people in your mind or your thinking. Assuming in your mind, that will not work. You need to really get hold of real people, their names, their addresses, their qualification, lifestyle, things like that. And you need to talk to them. You need to talk to them. So you go to talk to them, spend time. And they will tell about your idea, about your process, and about your product and service functions and the benefits of products. And they're going to give you more and more information, okay? So that's where you will come to know, yes, I'm trying to get my 10 customers. That gives you an idea that you are not hitting on the guess, but you are exactly finding your first 10 customers. It's not exciting, to have an idea and then have a product or a service that you have developed or you're thinking about, then very quickly to identify those 10 people willing to pay, those 10 people willing to purchase from you. That matters, because you can't just sustain, you can't just keep on working when you have an idea or service and nobody is purchasing from you, right? Nobody is buying from you. So you will be afterwards, depressed or losing heart, and obviously you will be losing again the money. That's why I'm telling, less than 10% know this. So eventually they put money in advertisements, they put money here and there, and they purchase so many things, and they take so much of time. So the time is gone and the money is gone, but end of the day, you don't have a single sale, right? You didn't get even a single customer. So what's the fun now? So you have everything, but you don't have any customer. So who is going to pull the cart? There is no horse, okay? Nobody, you pull your own cart, maybe. Yeah, then that's not again the fun of entrepreneurship. That's not again the fun of business. It would be better you were doing a job or you were doing something else, right? So you are having a passion, but without customers, without identifying those 10 people, you are going to reach nowhere, okay? That's the very, very important thing. We need to get these 10 people. Now here, I just shared one example, how you can profile your user or your buyer or your customer, okay? This is very simple. And I used the online tool to prepare this. It is a visuals, right? When I told you, you need to identify your buyer, that means I'm telling the real person, not fictitious, not something imaginary in your mind. You're guessing somebody. No, that will not work. We need to really get hold. For example, for my entrepreneurship training or a business course, I want a customer willing to pay, right? So whom I am going to share my product, or whom I'm going to talk about the training course. I identified Mr. Kulwant Singh. Why I identified him? Because based on his lifestyle, based on his profile. Look at this, how I made this profile, okay? Let me, okay. Look at this, Mr. Kulwant Singh, his age, I don't know, but I'm guessing around, I can guess around, but I can't ask the date of birth, right? So maybe between around 35 to 44, and he's educated with a bachelor degree, and he's active on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. His industry is manufacturing, okay, and he has a small organization or a company. He's leading 51 to 200 employees. Okay, and the tools that he need his job. So how he does his job, like he uses email marketing, project management, accounting software, CRM software. He's using a couple of other softwares. And he reports to his investors, partners, and stakeholders. Okay, his job responsibilities. He manages HR, legal compliances, project design development, and he creates content. Okay, his job is measured. How do he measures his job by cash flow, by product quality, product acquisition, lead generation, revenue generation. How he gains information, knowledge, how he gets this. Mr. Kulwant gets information from conferences, Zoom meetings, books, online courses. This is how he gets, all his information. Now, talking about his goals, look at this. Talking about his goals, they're positive growth hacking and revenue generation. That's the goal-oriented person he is. Okay, how he prefers to be communicated. He prefers email, text messages, face-to-face, no phone calls, right? He doesn't entertain phone calls, so I can't call him regularly. Before that, I need to really catch up with text message and email. If at all, then face-to-face meeting. And what are some of his challenges or biggest problems he faces? He faces with change management, collaboration. He has problems with communication, resources, project management, employee morally. So these are some of the biggest challenges in his industry or in his company on the day-to-day life he faces. So now look at this whole thing from steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm taking through this, and I made a visual user persona for my particular person, my particular customer or a buyer. Isn't it so interesting to know that you not only have an idea or a passion, but that idea turns into a product or a service. Now you identify a buyer, go into a market and you research and you find the first 10 people. And out of 10, you are going to start making biodata or a profile of each person. That means you will be having 10 profiles, right? You will be having 10 profiles. So you will be knowing everything about those 10 people. That means you know your customer more than anybody else. That's the key thing in the business, that you are aware of your customer. You're not guessing, so you are not assuming, so you are not trying, or you are not trying to experiment on those people, but you exactly know those people, who they are, who they're important. The reason I just put an example here for you to understand. Okay, so next. So as I was told, the paying customer is very, very important here. Okay, the paying customer is very important. So are you with me for this? Come on the chat box and say if you're trying to understand that.
Yes, yes.
Fantastic.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now that you get hold of your customer, what can you do for him? All right, so it's not that you get hold of 10 people and you make a profile and then you know that now, but you need to do really something for them. Just identifying them and saying all about your passion and just talking about your service or about a product that you are thinking, or an idea that you are thinking that I will be doing this. But what can you do for your customer? It starts from a product development. You need to change, or you need to move from just a passion on an idea to make a real product or real service which they can use. Okay, you need to develop that. You need to bring in that in a product form. And then you need to, in the second, quantify the value. What value you are going to give with that product? That product has some value, or you are trying to simply sell that because you need money, And then you need to, at the third, you need to understand what is your core, what's your strength, and who is your competitor. If you think that you have an idea, but the person is also having the same kind of idea, okay, you cannot stop people's idea, right? Here, right, in this webinar, we may have 30 people. What if 5 people are going to have the same kind of idea? And can you just say that, oh, you stole my idea? No. That means after this training, or maybe after knowing all this information, he may come up with another product or something like that. So he turns your competitor, okay? Now you need to really understand how he is doing and how you need to really survive along with him. You cannot stop him from doing, but at the same time, you need to survive with your own person. I mean, your own competitor. First thing is product development. What can you do for your customer? Okay, in the product development, what we are trying to understand is the purpose is developing a product. That means you are trying to solve it. You are trying to solve a customer's problem or his solution. That you're giving him a solution. That's very key and very important. At this stage, while you are developing, you are not trying to sell, but you are trying to understand if the customer really needs this, you need, or is this what you say that I hear solves your problem. So you are not trying to get the product yourselves, but you are trying to understand what he needs, and you are going to do it for him. Quantifying the value. You're going to give him a value, in the sense the value that your customer is trying to solve, and that problem is making him awake at night. So typically the value could be cheap, or maybe fast, or easy, or a better. That means you are providing something, a product or a service that you are turning from your idea, which is now helping to be better, to be faster, to be cheap, and something easy for him to use. And that means you are showing him a right value, okay? That's where he understands your value of what you are offering. Define your core. Define your core is something like you have an advantage, but nobody else has, the competitive advantage. You create a market. If you don't have an advantage, somebody will steal, they will come, they will copy, and then they will dominate, and maybe you will lose your business. So you need to take care of your strength and the core, and control and protect your, okay, that's your competency. Now, who is our competitor? So could be anybody, okay? Could be anybody thinking in the same terms, okay? He's offering same kind of solution or same kind of service or a product. So now you need to understand how you're going to help your 10 customers to make easy for them to buy. That means your product is cheaper than your competitor, or good, or better, or easy, whatever. You need to really tell your customers how you are going to be better, how you're going to be fast, how you're going to be easy and better or cheaper than your competitor. So that's how a customer understands, and then he willing to purchase your product, okay? Are you able to understand now so far?
Yes.
So type in chat. Getting hold of that. Okay. So let me move forward. Now, how does your customer acquire your product? Now that you have your product and you understood your customer, you're trying to do something. So now doesn't stop here. Now the role comes in how you're going to give this product to him, or how your customer is, and what happens in the purchase. So we are going to deal with these 4 things: the decision making, how a customer makes a decision, and your marketing techniques, what techniques you're going to use. The inbound marketing, I'm going to speak little introduction of that, and then the marketing funnel or the traction. I will try to explain this, what it really means. Now, decision-making unit, it's very simple to understand. The customer or the buyer or a user, he is deciding on it. Okay, you're going to show something to him. Okay, you're going to serve him, or you're going to give a product or a service, and there is a cost. So they need to decide. So you need to help them to decide on a decision making. So when we talk about a single customer, maybe he will be very easy and quickly to decide. But when you talk about business to business, that means you are selling wholesale, okay, to another shop. He again sells to retail customers, and he sells to small customers. So you are a big wholesaler, and you are giving to small, individual, and that person again selling back into small individual customers. So that means there is a supply chain. There are so many people involved, and that people decide, sometimes single, sometimes 2 3 people are involved in decision. So you need to make easy for them to decide. Marketing techniques. So when we talk about marketing, so as I told, if you understand, like I'll show you a profile, right, Mr. Kulwant Singh. So we need to understand our customer more and more, how and where and purchasing, where he's spending money, his shopping habits and things like that. In the COVID, we see 90%, most of the individual shopping is happening online. So that means your marketing technique has to be online. So if you don't have any website, or if you're using Facebook or a Facebook page or a LinkedIn and things like that, so marketing techniques may not be happening on the online. So you need to understand where your customer is buying, how is customer is buying. From there, you need to sell, or you need to provide your product. So that means your product should be on the platform which customer is using. Now, a little about inbound marketing is a big term. Inbound marketing, why it is called inbound means actually customers come to you instead of you going to customers. Okay, so this is called inbound. Outbound is a sales team. For example, as a salesperson, you're going to go door to door and you are showing samples of the products, or you're going to give brochure and flyers, and you're explaining about your services, or maybe you're explaining about your institute or college or something like that. So you go out, that's outbound. Example, they are searching in Facebook, they are searching in LinkedIn, different online platforms. So when they search, can they find you and your product or your business or your name? That is inbound marketing. If they can't find you, so your inbound marketing is not effective. So therefore, you may not get customers. So effective inbound marketing effective inbound marketing is again word of mouth in the beginning, but later on. Why is it called funnel? It's simply because the funnel, it's wide in the beginning and it narrows down. Okay, so in the similar way, so many people will be asking about your product or a service or an idea that you changed into a product. Now you're trying to sell, or you're going to give that as a solution to your customers. So many people will be inquiring, say like 100 people will inquire and they want to know about this, but doesn't mean 100 people will purchase. Okay, so then few people are yet making decisions. Out of that 50, maybe 20 are showing interest, and 10 are saying yes, we have payment issues and things like that, yes, we'll purchase tomorrow, day after, things like that. And then probably 5 have ultimately paid and purchased. So from 100 it came down to 5. So that's what actually funnel is. Funnel means more and more people will come in, and they filter and filter and filter, they come down. So that's the stage. So effectively understanding how many people are coming and how many are purchasing. So you need to understand the conversions. You need to understand the customer's full life cycle. That means how they're coming and their journey, and then they are paying and they are purchasing. So there is a journey. Okay, so you need to understand. You can't just force 100 people or 50 people right away to purchase. But they will take their own time. But are in the journey. So the marketing funnel and the traction helps you to understand. So how does your customer acquire your product? They get your product through this process, through this channel. Okay, this is the right way. Here is again an example how the funnel works. We call, in the marketing world, they call it as a lead or a lead generation process. In the marketing funnel, That's how it starts, with awareness. People come to know and they consider, the product specification, understand all the details, and they evaluate. That means they will search with the competitor results, they will things like that. And then finally, maybe they will make a decision and they will purchase. If you are a good person, or maybe your company and your service and things like that, they may reevaluate and they may again repurchase again. They may purchase the repurchase happens. The and people, that means you need to work on them. So they repurchase again and again. So those 10 people, again, they come back to you. So that repurchase model. So the marketing funnel, this is how it works. You start right from here and then back down here. So that's how you need to really understand the customer's journey. Now here is an example. I'm just sharing with you a few Facebook ads here, spending time and money. So why I'm showing here the example, because if you don't understand my previous, the awareness, consideration, evaluation, decision, and purchasing making, you can really mess up here. So this is where you use all of your money. Okay, the Facebook and all Google advertisements and all other online tools that you use to get more customers, or advertise your business, or your college or a institute. Every time you need advertisements, you pay a very high money, advertisement costs. So now if you don't pay, you don't get customers. So you need to advertise. So once you advertise, you will be losing money. How? For example, here, this is an ad. They were selling something like Magnet Medical Coding Solutions. So they are looking for students for their courses. Okay. So now they are trying to pitch the students, and then after they get trained, the students will get job. Okay. So now what they're saying is, look at this ad. They're saying, tired of searching jobs and learn more. So here, what's the problem? In a Facebook that I'm associated, they just shared about this ad comment. So I shared, value proposition should be the headline. So I see here, this particular headline not even connecting with the page here, with the picture here, and with the customer that they are looking forward. So I said, this headline will not work. The value proposition should be the headline. So they will make a change, or they may not. That's up to them again. Here, there is another ad. One guy here, he is in a property business. He's selling very high-end properties. In Mumbai, 2 BHK in Mumbai, it costs 2.78 crores. Okay, it's a high-value product. Okay, look at his ad. Everything is very fine in the picture and the copy. Here is, it mentions about get quote. Relevant for this kind of customer, because product or a property around 2.7 crore. Okay, this is high value. Here, instead of getting quote, you need to connect. Get connect directly. Okay, so many people will be involved in decision. Their family members or their friends and so many other people will be deciding whether to purchase this flat or not, because it's 2.7 crore, right? It's a big amount. So there will be a process in this. So that you talk to them directly and get to know. So here, my suggestion I gave to that particular business guy who made, his name is Ankit Jain. So he's in the property deal. So I mentioned about how the customer makes a decision. Just putting in a Facebook ad and sending a quote will not quantify the value, and person cannot decide. So you'll be losing money in this particular ad. Are you with me up to now?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, right. So this is where I'm trying to share that the framework of getting hold of this concept, so that you don't lose money and don't lose time. Okay, how do you make money? This is the final thing, because we have been waiting now. We were thinking like, yes, customer, customer, customer. So when are we going to make money? Okay, so we are now talking about the money. So money making process with the product and the customer is here. You need to have your own business model, and then you fix a price of your product or a service, an idea that now you turn into a product. And those will be lifetime value of a customer. You need to understand. And to get a customer, how much it costs. Just now I showed you Facebook ad. So people will put Facebook ads. So the cost of Facebook ad also is coming into the picture. So cost of customer acquisition count. So how do you make money if you're just spending like that? So you don't make any money, right? Now, business model simply speaking about is the customer and that. I would say the best business model that works for your customer is the best model for you. Okay, the customer is very, very, very important here. That work for here for South India, or it just works for a particular city. You can't just have that model everywhere. You need to really test and understand which business model is working best for you, and that's how you need to adopt, and that is your business model. That is your strategy. Okay, so that means we can't